managed to find these lions, and we are so incredibly excited. Yay! After all looking for them, we found some tracks and then headed off, and then they were. So super excited that they are actually here, and they've been walking quite a lot from where they were last seen this morning. They are very close to the camp, so they have pretty much walked half of the property in a day, pretty much, or in the last few hours. Yeah, you must be tired. You guys have been going on and on and on. Now we only have a clear view of one of these girls, and I think there's another one at the back. Now there was another guy that was helping us, so I'm gonna call him in, just spread the good news. Abel, come in. We've located the Nkuhuma and Shlambi. They are on Central, close to Giraffe Dip, south of the road. Okay, copy. He was very happy to hear that we found them, because they have walked quite a long distance from where they were this morning, and we thought that they were going to stick around there, but it seems like they've come all the way down. Hey, firm. Now, like I was saying, I can only see two heads. Can you see another head, Seb, perhaps?
Yeah, there's one.
I can only see two heads. Luckily, Seb is in a higher vantage point from me, so he can see a little bit more. So exciting! Yeah, I think they do look sleepy. They have been walking, it's amazing how much they've been walking. Yesterday, around about 6 o'clock, they started moving. They crossed onto Djuma. Then likely they walked all of the property, and then they went all the way to Buffelshoek, rested there for a little while. So they crossed pretty much south to north or east to west, all of the property, and then they went up and carried on going up, and then sometime during the day they came down, and then in the heat of the day, just when it's been the hottest, then they carried on walking all the way south, pretty much midway where they started from yesterday evening. So my goodness, they have been walking a lot. Chitty Chatty Meg, you're asking roughly how much do we think that they've walked in what night? Well, I'm gonna go with about maybe 15 Ks. Hey Sam, what do you think?
At least, yeah.
Yeah, I think, well, obviously not in a straight line, but they've been turning and going and then backtracking themselves. So I'm gonna think that in the last 24 hours, they've probably walked somewhere along 20 Ks, just judging by all the movements that we've seen them do. So yeah, no wonder you guys are sleepy. I think my heart is still beating very fast. Lorena, you say that they're looking beautiful as usual. I completely agree. They are looking stunning as usual. The Nkuhumas are always such a pretty pride of lions, and they always seem to be in such healthy conditions, and I wonder if perhaps they're not now back on the trail of the buffalo. Treehouse Dam is still at a certain distance from where we are, but I wonder if maybe they're not just carrying on. Let me just... Right, sorry guys, I just need to guide somebody in. Yeah, if you come on Central, then you will see me on the road. Sorry. Alright. Pause. You're wondering how old the lioness has got to be before she gives birth, or before she has her first litter. So... normally, in most cases, an average would be around about 3-4 years old once they become adults and self-sufficient. So they can go into heat, I would say, in most cases when they're about 4 years old, depending on the area and the conditions that they've been brought up in. Sometimes it might take a little bit longer, but I would say round about there. Oh, looking very sleepy, are you not? Like I said, I think my heart is still pounding. We were just sort of getting ready to lose hope because it's a very thick block, very thick area. But yes! Aquarius, you say you have gremlins in your stomach, and this is such an amazing sign. I like that expression, gremlins in our stomach. I think that's probably a keeper. And yes, I'm also feeling the gremlins in my stomach and not all around me, which is even better. But very happy that these girls have made their return. Sorry, go again. Okay, just carry on coming east, and then you'll just see us east from Giraffe Dip. If you look towards the western side of the road, then you'll see us. You won't miss us. Come east from Giraffe Deep, and then you will see us. Okay, copy. Well, how's this? Just a bit for the record. Seems like one of the guys that was helping us look for them earlier on, and we heard the car. He went past, didn't see us because we are just as well camouflaged as the lions, and then now he's had to turn around and come back. So how's that? Even us, we can blend perfectly well with our beautiful Wendy, all in green in the bush. Now, like I said, very exciting times. I can only see. You said you saw a third one.
No. Just
two.
Yeah.
I wonder. I can't see the cubs around here, so maybe we're just going to let them settle a little bit, and then we'll try going around, see if perhaps there are more lions sleeping on the other side. Could very well be that we only had tracks for 2, though, on the road. So I wonder if maybe these 2 females have gone off, and then they've left another female far up in the block with the rest of the cubs while they got hunting. Could be. But I think we'll only know more in a little bit when we move around. So I think, actually, let's give it a try. Let's see if maybe we can head into the corner where the other one is and put an end to this mystery of how many lions we're looking at. And if the view from there is not the greatest, then we'll come back to this one. Are we ready?
Yeah, you want to go? Okay.
Okay, copy. I think we saw you drive past earlier. You won't miss us. There she's going towards the next lion, so it's a good thing that we are moving around. Ooh. Very big branch here. Exciting times ahead. Alright, there's another branch here. Ooh. Alrighty. Alright. Where did these guys go? Abel, come in. Abel, sorry, not Giraffe Dip. I made a complete mistake. That just come towards Yellow Road Junction. I see 3. Abel, sorry, I made a mistake. Not Giraffe Dip. I thought I had said Yellow Road South Junction Central. So if you carry on coming east from there, then you will see us. No, just carry on coming along Central. Just carry on driving east along Central from that junction. Okay, copy. Alright, you said a little bit back. Sorry guys, it's a lot of chit-chat on the radio, and unfortunately I made a mistake by accident. But the guy is coming around here. Okay, now only 3 of them around here. Reports were that there was 1 female with 1 male, so that's a 4th one. Perhaps the 5th one is somewhere with the cubs in the block. Whew, very sleepy. They're not looking particularly skinny. But not looking particularly skinny, but perhaps they've been busy hunting and that's what they've been moving around. Richard, you're wondering how many lions in this particular pride. Well, it's 5 females and 6 cubs. So we're missing 2 females and 1 cub. We do know that one of the females was with 2 males, and then that lives 1 female and the cubs somewhere around here. I don't think they are here. Perhaps they, like we said, they just left the cubs somewhere in that drainage line because it's very thick around there, so it's perfect for them to stay in while these 3 went off hunting. Oh. Hello, girl. Exciting times ahead. Very sleepy, the three of them, but it's incredible. We always say that lions like to sleep at night and they move around when it's not that hot. They left them around about 12 o'clock or maybe around about 11ish this afternoon, and like we said earlier, it's been 28 and 83 degrees and very, very hot today, and that's the time that they have chosen to start moving around, which proves that animals can always surprise us. Whew. Yeah, that's the print on the sand. That's definitely what led us in this direction. Very happy. It was a very, very pretty print on the road. And for a moment there, we doubted it ourselves because there were some tracks called in on this road this morning. So that's where things got a bit more interesting, because they've done a loop on themselves on their own tracks. They've come back pretty much on the tracks that they have been walking this morning. Whew. Exciting times. So guys, I'm just trying to explain to one of the guys how to get here. Okay, if you just go around, this, then you'll buga the stream of Fazi this side. If you just go around. Or if not, I think it's maybe a bit more open on this side. Okay. Sorry about that, I thought I got so excited I'd said giraffe dip. Alright. Very good news. Now we can obviously try and stick around with them, see perhaps what they get up to this evening. Hopefully they will start roaring a bit later on, although they were quite vocal in the morning and during the night, so I am hoping that they might do that this morning as well. And both female and male lions can roar, and it's possibly the most beautiful sound that there is out here in the bush. It is something very unique. I can't believe you three actually walking around in the middle of the day when it's been so hot. I think is one of those funny things. Again, everything that's ever been written on a textbook, there's always one pride of lions that might prove you wrong and just do whatever it is that they feel like. And it just shows when the conditions are good that they'll move off. Let's go to Taylor. It seems like we're going to have an amazing drive. My goodness, exciting times. Right, we've had one of the girls has just gotten up and moved off. She is still asleep somewhere out in the bush, but it's not a great view, so we're going to stick with these two that are gracefully here. Now, they don't seem to be that settled for the afternoon, and I wonder if they're going to start moving around once more. It would be quite interesting if they did. Perhaps go back to the rest of the pride. Lots of head-ups and a lot of grooming going on. Seems like perhaps there is an old one on the eye. Seems like there are some old blood stains just underneath her right eye. I wonder if maybe they just haven't been eating something. See, they're So this is the one that had that injury. Look, she's walking just fine, and the injury seems to be almost fully healed, which is great news. Very happy that you are doing so well, and that it was just a minor thing. Definitely going onto the back there. Ian, you're wondering if there are very old lions in this in this pride. Depends what we define as old, but there are older lionesses, although which one of them is the oldest one, I'm not 100% sure, so we can ask the help of everyone. If anyone does know which one is the oldest lioness and roughly how old she is, you can let us know by using the hashtag #SafariLive. I'm not 100% sure. Where are you guys going? Alright. to see if there's a log here. I don't think even this short car will be able to get in between there. Seems like they've just chosen a new spot where to lie down. I want to see if they move or if they just stick around there, because it seems like they've just pretty much swapped places and they've got onto the sun. Maybe it was a bit too cold here where they were lying in the shade, because it seems like the three of them have swapped that spot for a new sunny spot. Alright. I think we're going to have to try and maneuver around this bush, see if... no, they... Oh my goodness. Are we moving, guys? Alright. Seems like they are moving, and they are going roughly into the drainage line. I wish we could just call it the gremlin area or something different. Alright. I don't know where I'm gonna move around. I think maybe we'll be able to wangle our way around here before they start moving around. Seems like the car that is behind us is going to move as well, so we're gonna wait for them to move so that we can then try and find a way to get in there. Because unfortunately there are a few logs sticking out here, and very, very thick logs, and that are still on the ground, so we won't be able to drive over them. Likely we'll end up getting stuck on top of them. But they haven't moved far. They are still here, and I see two of them still on the... not too far from where they were. So I don't think anything to panic yet. We will hold on to them, because yes, very exciting to finally see some lions. Whew. We even went looking for them yesterday evening. Jackie, you're wondering when do I think that they ate last? I believe they've been on Arethusa, or that they were on Arethusa yesterday evening, and I think the day before that, and I think there were reports of them getting something then. I'm not 100% sure, but I think probably ate a few days ago, 3-4 days ago, judging just by how empty their stomachs seem to look. Alright, so let me just try and reverse here. I'm going to wait for these guys to stop moving so that we can then try and go around. Alright. Okay. I think bundu bashing time it is. Easiest way to go for them is to go straight. Where did she go now? Lions. Alright, seems like they've all gotten up and started moving now. Well, you're wondering if it's easier or harder for lions to hunt in the winter foliage. Well, it can be sometimes easier for them because they become... oh, I don't know how I'm going to get around here. Become the color of the environment, so they might be able to blend in a little bit better. Okay, I'm gonna try and get us through this. Just watch out with this one because it's thorny. Sorry, this is not easy in any form or manner. Okay, yeah, just give me 1 second. I'm gonna... Sabi's doing a great demonstration of strength, manly strength. I can try to angle a little bit more because we have a stick. Woo. Alright, let's go to Taylor chasing after the leopard while we try to get ourselves out of here. Whew, sorry about earlier, it seemed like it was a bit of a tricky spot, but here they are, looking quite attentive, one of them, so I wonder if perhaps in certain... no? Okay. Somebody just fell on somebody else. So So they seemed, like I said, they seem to be roughly looking in the direction where this beautiful lioness is moving towards. So we can't really see anything from here, but there's a good chance that perhaps there's something down there in the bushes that they might like. And the guys earlier mentioned that they were after Nyala, so maybe there's a buffalo or a zebra or perhaps impala or more Nyala around here, as they seem to be quite determined to carry on moving. And I am so impressed just by how much these lions have been moving in the last 24 hours. They've pretty much done an entire loop around of Djuma and the surrounding areas. But again, I think one of the females was potentially left or two of them. One as a babysitter of the cub, because as we mentioned earlier, it seemed like there was one of the females that was with the two males. So we have yet another lion mystery. Mr. Ussie Bergen, you're wondering where the male lions are. Well, we're not too sure. There's one that's north of our boundary, and there was another one with the female, but it seems like they have gone into a very thick area just north of our boundary, so we don't really have access to them, and we can't go have a look. The other two are missing in action, but they are definitely not on the property. Now, male lions and females don't always have to be together. Often it'll happen that the males will leave the females on their own. They won't spend all their time with the pride as they go out patrolling their territory and hunting and just making sure that there's nothing else that's coming onto their area. Now, I think part of the reason why perhaps two of the males were together with this pride yesterday evening was because they bumped into them as they carried on moving, but also because, as we say, there might be the potential of one of them coming into heat, and that is obviously a bit more interesting for the males that want to try and maximize all of their mating opportunities. This is almost like a headless lion. Basil, you're saying that they look a bit edgy. Well, I wouldn't say edgy. They're not upset with anything around here. They're certainly not upset with us. But I think they are on the hunt. I think they are alert. I think they are going to try and find themselves an opportunity where they can bring something down. They are looking skinny. They're not looking too skinny, so nothing to worry about. But they are definitely looking for their next meal. Now, as we were discussing, lions are opportunistic creatures, and I wouldn't be surprised that they have actually been hunting the whole day, or at least trying to, following different prides of animals. Well, not prides of animals, sorry, herds of animals. Now, like we said, we are in the middle of a block, and it's quite thick around us, so we can't see what it is that they are somewhat interested in, but I wouldn't be surprised if there were some kudu, impala, nyala, somewhere further into the bush. Sorry, Alice, can you just repeat that last question for me? Love 3 dogs. You're saying that you love lion profiles. They are very powerful, aren't they? And I think maybe because I don't have a pretty nose or a pretty profile, whenever I see lions, I think they're even prettier. Very beautiful straight noses. But maybe they are still looking slightly sleepy. I think they're tired, but they're also hungry. So it's a battle of the two instincts. Should they carry on hunting? I'm sure as it becomes cooler, likely that instinct is going to override anything and everything, and that's when they're going to start moving. But it's going to be, and I'm sure yesterday evening, even if they were trying to hunt some buffalo, it's hard for them because with the full moon, a lot of the prey species can see a little bit better. So they've got to be a bit more clever in the way that they approach animals. They've got to be more secretive and be very careful. Likely you guys were trying yesterday, but I think maybe those buffaloes spotted you. And just in case you were wondering, lions can be just as successful hunting during the day. I have seen them hunt on many occasions in the middle of the day, funny enough. And just as long as they do things right and that they keep the wind in their favor and that the sun in their favor, normally they have a good success rate. Now, they seem to be quite relaxed. And look at this. We're even playing around with one of the branches that got stuck in my hand. Just while we were off-roading here. It is a bit of an open area, or an open spot that they have chosen to relax in. But I don't think they are fully relaxed. I am hoping that they're going to get up and start moving again. Beautiful. Paul, you're wondering if Amber Eyes is here because you can't really tell. Well, we can't really tell either. I think she's not here. I haven't been able to have a good glimpse at two of the females, so one of them is definitely not her. Now we just need to figure out the other two. But I think she's not here. I might be wrong though. Okay, so Seb managed to have a look at this one that is just giving us her back, and he says that this one is the one that seems to have a problem in her right eye. Yeah. So that's two down. Now we've just got to wonder about the other one that's down there. And I thought she was laying down because I kept... where are you going? I kept seeing some black flashing and I thought it was her tail, but the third lioness is not lying down. She's also up and about. So often you guys have seen us in the game of Patience with Lions, just sitting, waiting for hours and hours for them to start moving at this time of the day. And how lucky are we? Oh, that's an alarm, a contact call. See, she made a contact call and she went, ooh, which is a softer call for a lion, not a roar, but calling the other Pride members. And then there's this third one coming along. Alright, so she was definitely telling the other two that it's time to start moving in that direction. Alright. We are ready to turn around and start some more bundu bashing. They are going, well, there's one there, but they seem to be heading now back from the direction that they came from, which, guys, honestly, you could have just saved us that off-roading. But who are we to tell a lion what to do? Oh, I'm sitting on thorns. Come, car. Woo. Alright, I hope we'll be able to get around here. There's a big log. Okay, I was sitting on some thorns, which is not too comfortable. Alright, I think we're going to have to come here just because the exact way that they're walking, we can't really walk. Okay, well, drive. So I'm going to have to take a bit of a detour and then hopefully catch up with them a bit later. Alright, Swish Willow. The thing is that I can see them walking up there. And if you are wondering, the bush willow did spring back up. As so will this tree. Alright. Okay, I did see them walking up here. Ooh, all those things underneath this car.
She's right here.
Is she right here? I can't see her. Oh, okay, right next to us. Okay. Oh, and I see another one up in front of us. Alright, let me just get us a view. Whew. Mentally, you're wondering why there are black spots on the back of their ears. Well, there are black spots there and at the tip of their tail, and they're believed to be a follow me sign. So when they're walking in very long grass, especially in this winter months when everything's roughly the same color as them, it gives a good beacon, a good focal point to try and follow the rest of the pride members, especially if there are cubs around. Now, I'm not too sure where the other one... there she is. And she's also stopped, both of them, in their tracks, and they're not moving. So maybe there is something further ahead that they're looking for. Oh, you've sat down. Well, that was anticlimactic, because the other two are coming back now. Is that a cub? Ha-ha!
Yeah.
That's the gold. Yes! So the whole pride has been here all this time. Just in very thick bush.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, hello! Oh, this is precious. Oh, look how excited they are.
Oh.
Oh. Yay! What are you guys doing? You're not supposed to be suckling anymore. I wonder. So we've got 3 females and 3 cubs. Ah, I see the rest coming. Okay, no need to panic just yet. Alicia, you say cubs, awesome. Yes, we're very, very happy to see them too. Oh, I love it when lions greet each other after they haven't seen each other for a while. Look at that. Hug me. I want some love. And there come 2 more cubs. Alright, so we have a total count for now of 6 cubs. Whew. Okay, all of them here. And 3 females. Oh my goodness, are you guys going to go back onto that drainage line? We shall follow you. Oh, very exciting. Super good news to see them all around here. They're all looking quite healthy. Aquarius, you're saying gremlins in your stomach again. I think in all of our stomachs. We are so happy. I don't know what happened there, but clearly, clearly you were not welcome to go and bite. Well, I'm sorry, we didn't mean to judge your parenting skills. She gave us a very nasty look there, as in like, how dare you human tell me how to treat my cubs. Sorry. Alright, so we start again. I don't know where, trying to figure out where, I don't know. Yeah, well, same way we came, I suppose. It's going to be the easiest way, because we know we can get through there, because we've come from there. Sort of. Although, I think it might be a bit more open on the other side. So let's maybe try a different route. Just so that we don't have to go through some of the same thickets again. Ha! Exciting! Wonderful stuff. Oh, you guys are still there. Oh, okay. Alright, I don't know how we're gonna get to have a view there. But just stick with us and the stomach gremlins. We shall try. Awesome. I can't believe they've been hiding also so close to the road. It's incredible. Okay, I don't know if maybe this was my wisest call. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to think as to which is the most convenient way for us to try and get there, because I'm so gonna get a flat tire. I don't know if this was a smart thing to do, actually. Yeah, I know they are there, but because we won't be able to get through here because there's that big log there. So I think maybe this, and then we go around again. Sorry guys, this is a lot of the times just trying to figure out how to get past all of these trees around here. I don't know if this one will go down. Thank you, tree. All right. Oof. Okay. All right. Did it?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I was waiting for it to come back up. I think they have carried on though, haven't? Yeah, there they are. Okay. We're going to try and find our way back to the lions, but while we maneuver around this bush, let's go back to Taylor. Oh. They have all come into the open area where they were lying earlier on, and I wonder if perhaps the rest of the pride hadn't actually been coming from wherever it is that they were left this morning. And then what we saw was their greeting, their fantastic, very powerful greeting after not seeing each other for a few hours. That was a very special moment we just witnessed, and I think they're all exhausted after such excitement. Tom, you're saying that you're surprised at how something so ferocious can always be so loving. Well, all animals have a vulnerable side of them, and social relationships are incredibly important for lions. I mean, they are the only sociable cat. So making sure that they greet each other the proper way when they find each other is a way of keeping good relationships and just making sure that everything is fine and that they catch up with each other. So I think they actually, the other ones weren't here. I think they just kept coming, and one of the females picked it up. Perhaps she actually even heard the contact call from one of the other females when we heard her answer. And then they all moved off towards where they were. They all found each other, greeted each other, and came and lie down pretty much in the same spot where we had them earlier on. But look at that. Look at all those pretty ears amongst all the round leaf teaks. Oh. There was something sounded like maybe like a bushbuck or a nyala in the distance in the drainage line. So I think these guys are definitely out and about. And this is the time of the life for the cubs when they're going to start walking with the pride. And often if their mothers go hunting, then they leave them behind because they're still a bit young. But this is a crucial time in their lives when they're going to start developing the skills to hunt together. Interesting. Last time I saw the Nkuhumas, they were so sleepy, they barely even woke up. And today they've provided already so much excitement from the tracking, they were not there, carried on moving and greeting each other, and now coming back and laying down here. Beard, you're saying that we witnessed a family reunion. We certainly did, and I think it was a very special one. It's always wonderful to see how excited lions are to come across the rest of their pride members. Just jump on top of each other and say hello and head rubbing, and it's almost like lions are trying to get into other lions' hugs. It's amazing. I think these cubs, although these paws are meant for walking, these little cubs have been walking quite a lot, and I think they are definitely tired because the females are still somewhat alert with their heads sticking up, most of them, but the cubs are very, very sleepy. Yeah, you guys have been walking a lot because you have been going with the pride. Aquarius, you're wondering if a male lion showed up here, how would all the lions react? Well, if it's a male that they know, they would react somewhat in the same manner that they did now. There would be some head rubbing, and very likely all of the females would be very alert before the male approached, just to make sure that it's a known male lion. Now, if it wasn't a known male lion, then there would be a lot of aggression, because foreign or male lions that do not associate with this pride are a major threat to the cubs, because often, even if the cubs look big enough, they are still very young and vulnerable and can be easily killed by a male that's coming onto the area. So, like I said, if it were a male lion that's not known to the pride, likely they would be quite aggressive, and the cubs would probably run away and just seek shelter away from the male. My heart is so full. Doodles, you're wondering if the big cubs will still try to nurse. Well, we saw them try, but I think it's more comfort nursing than anything else. Normally lions are weaned around about 6 months old, and these guys are older than that, so I'm not too sure why they're being the way that they are, but they are onto meat. Their mothers at this age cannot sustain them on milk, so that's why they introduce them. And even roughly, let's say 6 to 8 weeks old normally, no, actually a little bit older in lions, maybe at 3 months old, they start introducing them to meat. So they will still nurse and have some of the milk, but they will also start eating meat. So as you can imagine, little lions have to grow very fast, and the more protein they get, the better for them. Who knows, maybe this is a new spot where they're gonna spend the night. It seems like they are pretty settled now. Maybe the 3 females were a bit wary. I reckon perhaps they went off trying to look for food and they didn't find anything, and the rest of the pride has caught up to them. And now that they're all together, it seems like they are all a lot more relaxed than what they were before, and all sleeping. Izzy, you're wondering why the lions don't get names like the leopards do. Well, because they are collective, well, okay, not collective, but because they are sociable animals, and it can be sometimes harder to identify a lioness from the next one unless they have some very bright or very key identifying feature. So it's a lot easier just to try and identify them as a pride, because in more cases than not, the pride will be together. So that's why they get collective name, like the Nkuhuma Pride of lions, which is these females here. So we know that at the moment it's five females and 6 cubs. There is one of them, or 2 amongst them. One of them is clearly amber eyes, because she's got this beautifully striking amber eyes, so she's easy to distinguish from the rest. And then there's the one that's got a problem in her right eye. It seems like she doesn't have all that good vision in there, if perhaps she does have any. So you can still identify individual lions, individual females, just by looking at their spot pattern on top of their whiskers. However, I think it's just slightly easier to identify them as a pride, because chances are that when you find them, they'll all be together. And because they are territorial creatures, they stick around the same area. Aquarius, you're wondering who comes up with all these names. Well, normally their names are given... That's beautiful. Oh, you're so gorgeous. Normally the names are given by some sort of characteristic area or name of an area or part of the area where they are in most cases. So the names either come from a drainage line or from a special characteristic that they've got, or I'm trying to think of anything else where they would name a pride of lions. I would say in most cases it's a geographic name. Guys, how exciting. Now everybody's wasted all their energy and walking today, and now we're all back down, aren't we? Now I wonder if perhaps there will be a male coming, because earlier on I was saying that there was one female that was missing that was seen with the 2 males, and then they've managed to find one male and then said that the other male and the female had carried on walking south. They didn't say that they had crossed the boundary, so I wonder if perhaps one of the Birmingham boys might be somewhere in the block. That'll be quite interesting to find out. I think maybe your lion plot thickens, because there were definitely 2 this morning with one of these females. Now we've got all the females here, but no males. So I wonder if perhaps the male just decided he didn't really want to come and see the rest of the pride, and he's sticking out somewhere else. Perhaps further north where we started looking, perhaps in that area. So I think maybe it's worth keeping an ear out. Maybe we'll hear them roaring later today, and then we'll be able to find out if there's a male around or not. Because as we were saying a few days ago, a Birmingham lion has been a rare sight lately. Luckily the girls are here. Oh, you're so sweet. years old, and you're wondering, and you are from Oregon, and you're wondering if they worry about spiders or scorpions in the grass. I don't think they do, to be honest. I don't think they have to be worried about anything. Perhaps a snake could hurt them, but I don't think they are. They are lions. I don't think they are worried about too many things right now. Standing by. Affirmative, you're welcome to join me. It's now the whole Schlambi. Wonder if there's a bit of an itch there. Perhaps they've also, while they've been walking and while we've been following them, there's been a lot of thorns and little things that have gotten caught in their fur. Somebody is still grooming himself. Jonathan, you're 11 years old from Alabama, and you're wondering how many teeth the lion has and if it differs between females and males. Well, to be quite honest, I don't think it differs from males and females. They have very prominent canines, the four of them, that they use to suffocate their prey on most occasions, but I'm not too sure how many teeth exactly they have got. So I am actually going to check in the book, see if perhaps we can find the answer for that, because that is a question that I have never posed myself. So thank you for that. Let's see, I don't even know if my book will tell me how many teeth a lion has. You're so sweet, aren't you? Alright, Jonathan from Alabama. It seems that my book does not specify how many teeth a lion has. So I will have to get back to you on that one. I will try to find out later on today once we get back to camp and then let you know. I'm not too sure how many they have got. That is a very interesting question. Alright, we are going to sit around with these guys for a while longer, find out if they get up to anything, but while we do that, let's go over to Taylor and find out how her tracking is going. Black and white indeed. So if you're wondering why we're looking at them in black and white, it's because we have turned on our IR, so our infrared, so that we can have a bit of a better view at the lions now that the light conditions are getting lower. Okay, copy. Carry on coming, just past that junction, then you'll see where the 2-truck went roughly south and west from there. Seems like it's a very good time for all of them. They are sleeping, and I think this one just got his head up because perhaps there's something at the back, although nothing we can really see. But there is another car coming to join us, so I wonder if perhaps that's what he's listening. Now, going back to the teeth question, because it was a very interesting question, it seems like lions have 30 teeth, which is a new thing that I have learned today. So thank you for asking the question, because I didn't know before, and it's funny how sometimes you just don't pose certain questions to yourself. But good, we have all learned something together today, which is what we love doing. And I think this might have been your very first question ever, so well done. It was your first time viewing us and your first question ever, so yay. Oh, this is beautiful. Now, are you a bit stiff, or do you have a bit of a limp? I think maybe stiff. I think that's what you are. Hello, girls. Oh my goodness, are you going to carry on? I am just so surprised that they have not stopped moving around today. I've got your audio, just come a bit, carry on going, but just come a bit more towards your east. Seems like maybe everyone's getting ready to start moving around once more. We've gone through some grooming. Maybe they have rested enough, and it seems like we are down to business once more. Yiki, you're wondering if the grooming is for practical reasons or for bonding? Well, both. Grooming is a very important way of reassuring their social relationships because, well, they don't hug or they don't have ways of expressing this other than grooming. And it's obviously got that very practical function of trying to get rid of ticks. Alright, seems like these guys are going to start moving once more. I am so impressed with you guys. Now, I think everyone can appreciate just why sometimes we don't find them, although we find their tracks crossing in, and why they cross out. I mean, in the time that we've been with them, how much have they walked? Well, okay, maybe perhaps not too much, but they have been very active in the last 2 hours. And this has been them taking it easy. So imagine when they just go, how much distance they can cover. Seems like Taylor has managed to find a cat who already has a kill, so let's go over to her and find out who this is.